Hi there, Geoff Coughlin, editor Scale Modelling Now. So welcome to this inbox browse where we are going to look at this new release from SWS, Zoukei-Mura, and of course it's the F-4G Phantom 2, Wild Weasel 5. Really eagerly awaited this one. I've certainly been waiting for it, having built a couple of E-models now from the manufacturer. Of course, this is coming in hot competition with Meng's offering 2. Not seen that kit, so all we're going to do here is focus on what exactly do we get in this release. Well, a lot is the short answer to that. I mean, an awful lot. I mean, if I just pull back, you've got, oh my goodness me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different sprues covering everything you could imagine that you would want for this particular release. So let's just have a look at it. Well, first of all, I mean, it is very similar in design and breakdown, of course, to the F4E releases prior to this. I actually love the kit. I really do. I think it goes together well. It's very well detailed. And as you can see here, you've just got all this kind of really crisp detail inscribed into the model itself. This time, of course, you're going to get the G sprue, which is this one over here. So you've got a couple of Shrike missiles here. You've got different instrument combing, instrument panels, different nose, of course, underneath, a sort of pod underneath the nose here. And, well, I mean, I just, if you just come on and have a little look here, got these really nicely detailed ejector seats, these which look terrific. You've got a decent sort of combing, really, sills, canopy sills and combings and all the rest of it for the canopy that go together well. Very well detailed undercarriage. You do get a couple of engines, not quite sure why they're detailed because you can't really display them open, but nonetheless, obviously you need it all to hold everything together. Different jet exhaust nozzles, open or closed, coming across here. I think the thing to notice, of course, with the main fuselage is, and you can probably just see it here, that you get a separate drop-in insert for the top of the fuselage. Coming over here, that is the insert which you can see here. Now I've looked at different, I've had a couple of sets of drawings that I've had access to. I've certainly looked at the pictures, and I think that this drop-in is accurate. I can't see, I've heard a few people saying, oh, there aren't panel lines in where the edges of this are. I disagree, I think they are. So from my experience, all that's required is just a tiny bit of filler or a little shim either at the front or the back of the insert, and then it fits perfectly. That's certainly been my experience, so that's all I can go off. Here you've got obviously got the tank, big centerline tank. You've got wing tanks. Clear parts are excellent, really beautifully moulded, perfectly clear. You've got just, have you got? That's right. On this one, you don't actually even have the seam line down the clear part, which is great. So that's a nice touch. Again, more options here. You get various Sidewinder missiles, early and late styles. You get all sorts of different heads here. You get the access ladders, which is great. And coming over here, you've got all sorts of pods, multi-ejector racks. The list kind of goes on, really. You can set the flaps as drooped or not as you wish. So all in all, a super release as far as I'm concerned. Here's the decal sheet. Clearly you can see the options there, Spanged Iron machine. You can either use the decals over the raised parts, or just paint the raised parts in the cockpit. You get some decent stenciling data on here. Not sure that you get plenty on it of it, and what's quite nice to see is that it's not utterly excessive, because some of the releases, particularly US Navy releases, or indeed the F4E releases, you know, just had huge numbers of decals. So you've got plenty here, but maybe and certainly enough to create the right look, which is what you're after without going over the top. Yeah, so that's the decal sheet. I didn't have any problems with mine before, so that's good to see. Here we've got the colour guide. painting guide and decal application guide. So you have an opportunity there to do the kind of greens and grey camo version. There are various decal sheets I've seen coming on the market now, which are aftermarket sheets that give you different options for perhaps grey birds and the rest of it. But good to see all the clear labelling there of exactly what colours different things need to be. So again, I mentioned to you about the ANAL Q131 ECM pod. Got those harm missiles, actually harms, not shrikes, harms, just testing, which were used for taking out various surface-to-air installations and so on. So yeah, finally you've got their big instruction booklet, which you get here. Just going from back to front, very clear this. I always found these to be very, very clear. Just follow it carefully, look at the suggestions, you get all the painting guides along the way. Again, here you get, as you can see here, you've got different options, depending you want flaps raised or lowered, and ailerons and so on, different cans and so on and so forth. So yeah, I personally do like it. I like the look of what we're seeing here. I think that's really good. And I hope that you do too. So there we go. That's our F-4G from Zoukei-Mura. Hope you like it. Hope this little inbox look. And I'm sure you're going to love the build when we get to it. So definitely into the schedule. Not exactly sure when it's going to come, but it's certainly not going to be too long. After all, it is a Phantom, isn't it? I mean, what is not to like?